I mean, I get people to tell me all the time, well, when we go back to normal. I have heard these 5 or 6 times in the past 3 or 4 days. So that's what people are thinking, that when life goes back to normal. Now, my question is, what's going to be normal? Because I believe that life will never be the same again. And I think it's important that we realize that we are entering into a complete new environment. As I mentioned to all my speakers and my clients, I tell them, well, this is 9/11 2.0. Life will never be the same again. There's been a reset button that has been pressed, and there's going to be changes absolutely everywhere. So we were discussing a few of these changes just before we got into the live session. So possibly you can share some, Dave, and I can share some.
So we're looking at the things that will never be the same again in terms of our normal business. I can reel off a couple of businesses that will be completely different as a direct result of what we're going through right now. So first of all, you're going to find that real estate will change quite considerably. People will change the way that they think about their business for a start. So if you've got a home business right now, which most people have, even if it is working as a freelancer, then you start thinking about the fact that actually this is quite convenient. Maybe I should keep a home office. And a lot of businesses will just not bother going back to work again. They're going to say, this is actually quite convenient. Why don't we interview people and let them stay where they are? Now, what that will have a knock-on effect is the way that people will dress. So, for instance, people won't, right now, if you talk to people online, they're probably going to look a bit scruffy. Like right now, I'm wearing just a sports shirt and nothing below it. Of course I am. I wear shorts. But people wearing tracksuits and people not doing their hair properly or not putting makeup on like they would for work will become the norm. Because one of the things that really hits during a time like this is the lack of interest in the posh luxury goods, labelled items, looking like you wear the best clothes. Everyone's going to start wearing more clothes like this, and this will become a norm for business. So I think that fashion will have to pick up at some point, but I think there's going to be less emphasis on it. I think also, as we talked about working from home, people will now start looking at a new hybrid version of an apartment or a house, which will have a natural study for you to work in and broadcast from. Because more and more people will be freelancers and will work from there. I think we'll see that a lot of the malls, or the super malls that were growing, will change and maybe not go back into the shape that they had before, because more people will be buying online, which makes, of course, a whole new logistics industry. Your supply chains will be everything. So I think that those are the big ones from my side that are going to change and not snap back in afterwards.
Yeah, well, what I was just sharing a little bit with you earlier is in the airline industry, which is of course an industry that I have been there for a while. I mean, right now we are seeing just on the right of the screen, we're seeing all the aircraft from American Airlines, which are right now parked in the airport in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And this is actually fairly shocking, because I don't think that we have ever seen this craziness. I mean, all these aircrafts, and what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of people which are going to discover that, that business could be done right now without really having to travel. I mean, right now, just think about it. I am right now in Houston, Texas. You are right now in Dubai. And we are having a perfectly fine conversation. We could deal with business. We could have a full meeting. Right now, everybody, the search of work with Skype, with Zoom, with GoToMeeting, with GoToWebinar, all these tools are going to come and going to start being used all the time. So I think the airline industry, I think the business travel industry, hotels, and all these different things surrounding the travel industry are going to definitely be very, very affected. And I think, well, the travel from home, of course, comes with some challenges, which, of course, I think it's important that we that we understand what those challenges are. I mean, you have some challenges that people were already facing while working from home, right? And that just reminds me of this video that was actually happening some time ago.
Scandals happen all the time. The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean for the wider region? I think one of your children has just walked in. I mean, shifting sands in the region. Do you think relations with the North may change?
I would be surprised if they do. Pardon me.
That's all right, carry on.
My apologies.
What's this going to mean for the region?
My apologies. South Korea's policy choices on North Korea have been severely limited in the last 6 months to a year.
Because that's the natural order of things for people working in this kind of industry. I was coaching about 8 people today across the world, and the ones who actually are speakers, some are wanting to be speakers, some actually are speakers, and every speaker was saying, yeah, I'm used to this. I'm used to everyone going to work, and I don't really see them. I just deal with the decision makers, and I do a lot of work from home. So that's going to be the way people are. But I think you're right in the fact that a lot of travel will change when people realize they don't need to. I think it's going to work really well for big data and for tech, and I think 4G, 5G will become more mainstream as people want to do more of this. So what we're doing right now, maybe with multiple monitors, maybe with regular meetings around the world, I think there's going to be a lot more companies that have fewer members of staff but have an international impact. So you can easily have 8 people around the world working for your company, and they connect like this. They never see each other, but they have a great business model. And I think you'll get a lot more of that, which is great for business, but it's bad for tradition. And I'm all for that, to be honest.